Hello everyone, my name is Metal Rocker 86, and this is my very first video on my new channel. I was inspired by my good friend Tainted Lord87, and there is a link to his channel in the description down below. The difference is though, while he only shows off his collection, I am actually going to be reviewing albums, and I might throw in a random guitar cover here and there. Today, I will be reviewing one of Bruce Springsteen's, or as other people know him as the Boss, best pieces of work, Born in the USA. Now, Bruce Springsteen is an icon in rock music. He comes from Newark, New Jersey, has been in the music industry for about 50 years, and to this date has released 20 studio albums, my favorite being Born in the USA. On to the album. Born in the USA is Bruce's 7th studio album, and it was released in June of 1984. It consists of 12 songs, and altogether is just under 47 minutes long. Bruce takes on the lead vocals, lead guitar, and acoustic guitar. He also has a backup band called the E Street Band. On drums and backup vocals is Max Weinberg. On rhythm guitar, acoustic guitar, mandolin, and harmony vocals is Steve Van Zandt. Saxophone, percussion, and background vocals is Clarence Clemens. Bass guitar and background vocals is Gary Talent. On Hammond organ, glockenspiel, and piano for Born in the USA is Danny Federici. And finally, on piano, synthesizer, and background vocals is Roy Baton. Now we're going on to the songs, all of which were written by Bruce Springsteen. First up is the album's title song, Born in the USA, which was also released as a single. The tempo of the song is kind of moderately fast-paced, I'd say. As for the instrumentation, the focus is on the strong synthesizers. You might think that this is a patriotic song by just looking at the title. And you wouldn't be the only one who'd think that. But the song is actually about Vietnam veterans returning home and all the problems they face, like not being able to find work. This song was also very popular around the whole world. Rolling Stone ranked it 275th on the 500 greatest songs of all time, and the RIAA ranked it 59th out of 365 of the greatest songs of the century back in 2001. This was a great song to start the album with. This next song was also released as a single, Cover Me. Instrumentation. The focus is on the guitars, with a very catchy riff they use for the intro and verses. Bruce also does an amazing solo in the second half of this song. You may not have known this, but Bruce Springsteen originally wrote this song for Donna Summer. And then his manager, John Landau, thought this song had hit potential, so he saved it for Bruce. This is an awesome song on this album. Now, we're driving into Darlington County. The tempo of the song is just a little bit slower than Cover Me. The instrumentation, it focuses on the guitars and keyboards, and a cool saxophone riff at the end. This song is about two guys. They leave New York City to go to Darlington County in South Carolina to find work. However, they are unable to find a job and face a lot of troubles along the way. A fun fact. This song was supposed to be released on one of Bruce's earlier albums called Darkness on the Edge of Town, but it was not chosen and was chosen for this album instead, and that was a good choice because this was a great addition to the album. Up next is Workin' on the Highway, which was almost going to be called Child Bride. The tempo of this song speeds up a bit. For the instrumentation, for the verse, it's mainly focused on the percussions and a little bit of guitar. But when you get to the chorus, you can really hear the guitar and synthesizer. The song is about a guy who meets a girl. They go away together to start a new life, but her family doesn't like him and has him arrested, and he ends up working on the highway. This is another great song that was added to the album. Now this next one has a bit of a sad feel to it. It's called Downbound Train. The tempo of this song is just a little bit slower, I'd say. With the instrumentation, it sounds like it's a train traveling. The main focus, however, is the guitars and the underlying organs. The main themes of this song are lost love, regretted decisions, and how hard it can be for people when nothing seems to go right for them. While this was a very sad song, it was very well written, and I really enjoyed it. This next one was also released as a single, and it's called I'm on Fire. Unlike Downbound Train, this one has a happier feel to it. The tempo speeds up a little with this one. As for the instrumentation, this one was very quiet as it had some very soft guitars and keyboards. The song is about a guy. He lusts for a woman, but it makes him sweat so much that he feels like he's on fire. This was another great addition to the album. This next song is called No Surrender, and it was originally going to be called Brothers Under the Bridges. This one is a more up-tempo song. The instrumentation consists of mostly guitars and some organs. The song is about how inspirational rock music can be, and the friendships that Bruce and his band members all share. Believe it or not, Bruce was very uncomfortable with this song at first and almost didn't release it until Steve Van Zandt convinced him. And I'm glad he did, because this is a great song on the album. Up next is Bobby Jean. The tempo of this song is also moderately fast-paced. With the instrumentation, the focus is mainly on the keyboards and organs, with an awesome saxophone solo. The theme of this song is about childhood friendships and how they change over time. This song was actually written as a farewell to Steve Van Zandt, who left the band during the recording of this album, only to return years later. This was also a great addition to the album. Now, we get to my favorite song on the album, I'm Going Down, which was also released as a single. The tempo of this one is also moderately fast-paced. The instrumentation focuses mainly on the guitars in this one, with an awesome saxophone solo by Clarence Clemons that I really enjoyed. The song is about how a relationship is ending between two people. Normally, you'd think that would be a sad song, but that is not the case this time. This song actually sounds very fun and would put you in a good mood, and Bruce does not disappoint with this one. A fun fact about this song, originally, I'm Going Down was not going to be included on Born in the USA. Instead, it was going to be Pink Cadillac, but I'm Going Down beat it. And it was the better choice in my opinion, because this is my favorite song on the album and the reason why I purchased it. This next one was also released as a single, and it's called Glory Days. And again, it also has a moderately fast-paced tempo. With the instrumentation, the organs and the guitars are the main focus. There's also an interesting story behind this song, too. When Bruce was in his early to mid-teens, he and a friend used to play baseball together, and as time went on, they went their separate ways. His friend continued to get into sports, while Bruce decided to take the music path. Years later, as Bruce was leaving a bar, he ran into his friend who was just going in, so Bruce decides to go back in, have a few drinks, and talk about the glory days. This was a great song on the album as well. Now, this next one was also released as a single, and you'll probably know it. It's called Dancin' in the Dark. This one is a very up-tempo song that provides great energy. With the instrumentation, the main focus is the synthesizers, and there's a cool sax solo at the end during the fade-out. The lyrics are kind of catchy too, and they describe how hard it can be to make a hit single when you can't come up with an idea. Kind of like how you can't start a fire without a spark. This was a really awesome addition to the album. Now we get to the final song, which was also released as a single, and it's called My Hometown. The tempo of this one is very slow. And with the instrumentation, it focuses mainly on the synthesizers. It reveals a bit about the relationship between Bruce and his father, as well as how his hometown was affected by that race war in Asbury Park. This was a great song to end the album with. Now, what did I like about this album? I was actually blown away by this album. The songs were all very well written and in the right order. Bruce really delivers on the vocals, and the instrumentation is phenomenal. This is by far one of Bruce's best albums of all time, and one of my favorite albums of all time too. Now, what didn't I like about this album? I really can't say there was anything I didn't like about this album. To conclude this, I will say, go listen to Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA. You will like it. Well, that's the end of this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up down below, and if you want to subscribe, please hit the button. Until next time, rock on!